Hey guys, what's going on? Matthew or MP Bricks here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at every Ninjago Dragons Rising Zane minifigure. Since 2023, Ninjago Dragons Rising has been going, giving us 9 unique Zane minifigures. So let's take a look at all of these figures. Our one and only Dragons Rising Season 1 Zane is this one right here, commonly called Merge Zane. And this is actually a really great Zane minifigure. For all of the ninja, they tried to go back to just some basic suits, just a ninja suit, right? Nothing super special about it, nothing too complex, just back to a basic ninja suit. And I think they worked that out so well just for the start of their new series and all. So I'll go ahead and remove his accessories. They were pretty focused on using just plain golden katanas in this season, so that's all they received. His cheapest set was a $35 set, being his Spinjitzu Power Race Car, which was actually a pretty cool set. You can check out a review on my channel now. But he is actually a really awesome minifigure. I love how much of the blue he used, especially compared to Zane's from the original series. Just look at all that blue. It's so much, and it is beautiful. I think it totally fits him really well. And overall, even though he's just kind of a more basic minifigure, he looks really awesome. I really like the dark blue undershirt and the small bits of gold that really work their way into this minifigure. And then they also received Source Dragon symbols on the back, which look fantastic. Of course, they kept that ZX armor bit that held the swords and then got their own new mask slash armor. They also got new heads here, which he got kind of just a blank expression, which I think is actually pretty good. And then they got dragon power eyes, which work with all of the suits, except for the ones with hair. So I think this is a really great start. But Season 2 definitely gives us some really great stuff as well. Let's move on to those ones. Our next two Dragons Rising Zane minifigures are Mech Suit Zane and Climber Zane. These were both included in Season 2 focused sets with the Wolf Mask Warriors. Zane was actually, this one, the mech suit, was actually only included in Kai's Fire Mech, but then he also was included in a tin in some places in Europe. And then the Climber suit Zane was only included in the Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo, and then again a paper bag in some places in Europe. But these are two very amazing minifigures. I love these two a lot. Fortunately, even though Climber Zane is definitely lower on the list in terms of all of the Dragons Rising Zanes, I think he's still fantastic. And that's what's amazing about all these minifigures. Even though they may not be the best, maybe it's the worst Dragons Rising Zane, it's still a great minifigure. But starting with Mech Suit Zane, he continues with that same color scheme there, with the same lots of blue and everything. And it almost looks like he took this suit and threw armor on top, because you can see underneath there's the blue. I don't think it's quite the same, so I'm gonna rule that off. I don't think that's what it is, but it really does look amazing, looking like he has a regular suit underneath and then he's got like some armor on top. I think all of them look amazing in this, but Zane is definitely perfect. He is so good. I love all the blue, especially on the mask. It looks fantastic. I know some people think it may be a little too much, but I think it's not too bad. He's got that same head there, and then here is how it looks with the dragon power eyes. Looks pretty cool. And I love how much gold is on this guy this time. A pretty big upgrade from the last one, and overall a very good looking minifigure. And they all had their names spelled out in Ninjargon on the back, so I think that's pretty cool. But moving on to Climber Zane, I love how all of the ninja had like ropes and carabiners and everything across their torsos, which looks amazing. They also all had this climber hook piece, which is pretty cool. It was very useful in a lot of the sets with like zip lines and everything, so that's pretty cool. But the minifigure does feature a lot more gray, which I didn't personally love. I still don't, but it's definitely coming around to me. And overall, it's way too much. I feel like he needed a lot more of the blue because he's got gray arms, he's got gray armor, which I guess the gray armor makes sense because why would he have bright blue armor? I guess that's okay. And then the mask is gray as well because it's dual molded into the armor too. So I feel like that's just way too much gray, and it was never really one of his massive colors in the first place. When you take that off, it's a little better. He's got the gray arms still, but the blue definitely seeps in there, and I really like it. I like that he has a blue belt here. I feel like that's one of the only problems with some of these older ones, but with how much blue they have, I think it's fine. It blends in just fine, the gray belt. But then this one really sticks out, and I do really like that. Around back, he's got just some more ropes and then a little thing with the Z on it in Ninjago. So overall, a cool minifigure, but this one was actually quite a bit harder to get, at least in the United States, because the only set it was included in was the Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo, which was actually quite expensive. It was $120 retail. You can still get it for around that price right now after retail, but overall, he was a little more difficult to get. But now this is where things get a little more interesting, and I really love some of the later Dragons Rising Zanes. This one right here is Tournament Zane. He is also from Season 2. He's just from the second half. And then over here we have Shirtless Zane from Season 3. Never in the show, he was just there, so I don't really have much to say about him. But for Tournament Zane, I personally love the tournament suits so much. Zane isn't perfect for sure, but I love what they did with the shirtless look, or sorry, the sleeveless look, where he got his silver arms and everything. I think that looks fantastic. And then the way that the robes go down past his belt and then down to his legs looks amazing. So overall, these just have great detail, and then they've got like a little tassel hanging down that says MOI, Master of Ice, which is awesome. And then he's got like a little ice symbol that kind of connects to his shoulder pad there. It just looks amazing. They got these new, smaller, like more compact shoulder pads, which have the two spots for swords on the back, a lot more compact. And then they also introduced a small sword. I really like that one for sure. And then around back, you got another symbol for the source dragons. So that was pretty cool. I do like this minifigure. He didn't come with his armor piece in his bike, but the bike was the cheapest way to get this minifigure. Like without the armor piece, but the bike was only $10, so not too bad there. But next up is Shirtless Zane, and that's exactly what he is. You can see some abs. You can see his chest with his heart exposed there and everything. Yeah. I don't know much to say about this guy. He wasn't in the show. He was just there, and he is a cool minifigure. I'll tell you that. He's a cool figure, but that's really all I have to say about him because he's not super exciting. He's not a rare minifigure or anything. So I'd rather talk about the mainline suits, which we're going to do right now. These are the two main Season 3 suits for Zane, Storm Suit Zane, and Spectral Zane, as I call him. People call him Ghost Hunter Zane. I like Spectral Zane. I feel like that's the better name for them. But overall, these are two of my favorite suits. Storm is definitely towards the bottom, but Spectral, oh my gosh, this is my favorite. I think this is my favorite Zane minifigure of all time. Let's start with Storm Suit Zane. Here I've got him holding a one of the prismatic blades from the season, which is kind of cool. Love that. And you can see he has the same legs as Shirtless Zane from before. They just kind of reused that. And then he's got a very nice torso print. I really like these. What I always saw it as was like a body armor of golden armor there. You can see it beneath. And then robes kind of over that, but open enough that you can still see that body armor, which looks amazing. They almost looks like he almost looks like he has like straps from like a parachute thing, but I think that's just part of his armor. And then you can see he's got that tournament armor recolored in black, which wasn't new. It was included on Jay in the tournament, but still a really cool piece to get. Same head we've seen. And then around back, you can see what I feel like this was like a rising dragon technique symbol because this was after they learned rising dragon, and that's what it looks like. It's a dragon kind of flying upwards, and that's what it looked like in the show. So that's what I saw that as a rising dragon symbol. So very cool minifigure. I like this one a lot, and his only set that he was included in, um, at least with his mask, was $45. It was the Dragonian Storm Village. So he's not too hard to get. But next up is Spectral Zane, who was only included in a $200 set. And he's still stuck there, and I think he's not coming in any kind of foil bag or paper bag because, I mean, they're already releasing new minifigures that are not these. So I guess they're not including him. But very cool minifigure here. I absolutely love the spectral suits. They all use dark red for like their knee pads and their belts, just like you can see here. And I think it fits Zane perfectly. It looks amazing. He's also got some dark tan straps, which everyone used. Amazing. He's got his old head from season 8 and beyond because he's got hair here, so he can't have the double-sided face. And then they've got these beautiful new armor pieces, which this was actually introduced with um, the this coloring was with the Woo from Legends, so not too bad here. It isn't exactly exclusive to Zane, but not too bad of an armor piece. I really like this one. It's got like a bamboo looking armor and then also a dragon head, so that's pretty cool. But overall, his torso is amazing with those brown straps and everything. And then he's also got his chest a little exposed, which you can see his heart just like this one right here, just about the same detailing there. So pretty dang cool. And around back, he's got his letter in Ninjago, that is the letter Z. So very cool minifigure. I absolutely love this one. Personally, I think it's my favorite Spectral, and of course, it is my favorite Dragons Rising Zane minifigure. And here are our final two Dragons Rising Zane minifigures. These are both from season 4, and they practically are the same minifigures. This one is just his regular, I call it dragon suit, and then this is his dragon form or Draconis form. I don't know where Draconis form comes from. It wasn't in the show, so if someone wants to tell me where that came from, I don't know, but that's what everyone calls it. But we got Dragon Form Zane, and then we got his regular season 4 suit, Zane. And I just wanted to make sure that he was here so that you could see everything pretty well because um, just a lot of the features on this guy kind of covers it up. And they are a little bit different with their heads, which does not matter at all. But Dragon Form Zane has this really, really cool hood. I love this with the horns coming off the back. Perfect amount of blue on this one for sure. It looks amazing. So really, really cool hood there. And then finally, we're getting use of that dragon power eyes because they didn't really use that in the show before because there was no need. And then he's got white wings connected to this armor piece, which this Zane also has, and a fantastic torso and leg print. I absolutely love this. My favorite part is how when you put the armor on, you can see it kind of like swoops up and continues from the torso into the armor. I think it looks amazing. It looks like one continuous armor piece, and it is awesome. And then he's also got these scaly bits on his torso that look like ice. I really like that. That is amazing. And then he's bringing back that gray belt, which I don't love, but when you've got the blue on the mask and the blue on the arms, I don't think it's too bad. I feel like there is a little bit of blue missing in the legs. That definitely could have rounded this figure out, but he's a very good one for sure. And then he's even got some little dragon toes on the bottom, obviously because he's dragon form Zane. The back torso print is nothing too special. You've got the top of the armor there, and then just some more scales going down. And then he has this fantastic rubberized tail piece that you can like kind of move around. You can't really repose it or anything, but really cool that that is included there. And I like the position of it because it's not as much in the way. It's definitely in the way, I'll say that, but it's not as bad. If it was like straight back or like if it was to the side or something, just it being swooped to the side and forward is just out of the way, in general compared to what it could be. So I don't think it's too bad. But those were our final Dragons Rising minifigures for Zane. So let's get on to my overall thoughts on every minifigure he has gotten. So that was every Dragons Rising Zane minifigure, and wow, I think they did a fantastic job with Zane throughout the whole series and hopefully far into the future. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do videos like this all the time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.